Hello everyone! In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to look at and understand the financial details for your business account. So this is important, especially for people with the consumption business account, but there are also some things that are important to know about the subscription business account. So first of all, to look at your financial details, you want to go into what they call the dashboard, which is basically just your account, but it's not through the app where you teach. You want to log into your account through the website. So let's take a look. So here I am on my account, and the first thing you're going to see on the main page that you want to look at is this number in the top left corner. It shows your account balance. You might think if you have the subscription that there should no account balance because you paid for unlimited classes, no top-off amount, but you will still see an account balance even if you use the subscription, and I'll explain why. So if you see an account balance there and you paid for a subscription, don't worry. The way that ClassIn manages these accounts is when you pay for your subscription, they just put whatever the equivalent in RMB, Chinese currency, into your account balance. But because you don't have the consumption, that number should not lower when you teach your classes. But if you have the consumption business account like I do, and many other teachers have, you of course will have an account balance, but your number will slowly decrease as you teach your classes and as you lose those credits per class and per student that you teach. So don't freak out, don't go crazy if you see an account balance and you have the business account. It's okay. So you'll still see the same thing. You'll see the top up, it'll say business version, and you will see a service period. So also for those consumption business account users, don't worry if you see a service period only lasting a year. That does not mean you will lose your balance or your credits in a year. The way ClassIn manages their business account is every year you have to re-sign your contract. So you have 1 year on your contract, and then at the end of the year, you just re-sign the contract, and whatever balance you have just rolls over into the next year. So you can see my service period shows 2024. My contract actually expires next month, so I just recently signed it again. So I am good to go for my next year, and I still have a large balance that's going to carry over, and I continue using it into the second year of having the consumption business account. If I had the subscription, then at the end of that year, I would have to pay for another year for my subscription. So both types of business accounts will see an account balance. The subscription, the balance will not change, where the consumption, your balance will slowly decrease. So it's important if you have the consumption account to look at that balance and make sure you know how much you have in your account. The second thing that's important, and this is for consumption users, is you can set a reminder when your account balance gets lower. To set that reminder right when it's automatically set when you first get your account, it's at a really high balance. And you're going to be like, what? I have to top off? I still have like 1,000 RMB left. So don't worry about that. It's just an automatic reminder that you can change. Just because you get the reminder doesn't mean you have to add more money to your account. So if you go to Profile at the bottom and click on Setting, you're going to see on the top up here, it says Account Balance Reminder. I can't remember what it was set at when I got it, but I know the first reminder was a super high amount. So all you do is go to Edit, make sure your phone number is there, and you can set 2 different reminders. I just set mine, first one to be 500 and then 100. That way I'm not waiting until the last minute to add money to my account when I start to get low. And then click Done, and you're good to go. Next thing I want to look at is the finance details. So if you go to the finance section and click on Finance Details, and again, this is more important for consumption users, but if you have a subscription and you just started the subscription, I highly recommend looking at this just to make sure everything is working correctly in your account. So if you have a consumption business account like me, you will see every single class that you teach. And if you have a recording as well, you'll see the class twice. One is the lesson spending and one is the recording for that lesson. And then over to the right, you'll see the actual amount. That is the amount that is deducted from your class for using the class and for using the recording in those RMB credits. So if you have consumption, you should see numbers being deducted from each class. If you have a subscription account, on the other hand, you should not see anything being deducted. So that's very important to make sure you're checking your account to make sure everything is running correctly. If you have a subscription and you see that money is being deducted, make sure you contact your sales rep as soon as possible to make sure everything is set correctly in your account. If you have the consumption, it's also important when you start your new subscription or consumption account to make sure these numbers are accurate. Because when I first started my business consumption account, I had lessons that I created before I upgraded. So all my lessons were set to 1v3 and 40 minutes because that's what was offered with the free version. So when I taught those classes, I was being charged almost double, even maybe more than double, because it was using those settings. It was using the 1v2 plus and the 1 hour class rounded up for all those classes I taught. So when I went to my financial details, I saw like 2 RMB, 3, 4 RMB. I was like, oh my gosh, I should not be charged that much. So right away I knew, I need to go and change my classes. So make sure you're checking to make sure everything's coming out correctly, and it helps you make sure you're setting your classes correctly as well. If you teach 1v1, 30 minutes or less like me, every single one of your classes should be just 1 RMB. So I can see 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All of my classes are 1 RMB. If you do the recording with the consumption, it's 1 RMB every 30 minutes, but remember the recording doesn't round up. You only pay for what you record. Since my classes are only 25 minutes, sometimes I stay a little longer, all of my recordings are going to be a little less than 1 RMB. So I can see here, Emma's class recording was 0.9, Winnie's was 0.9, Helen's was 0.87, Emma's was 0.87. So I can see everything that is deducted from my account. And that number corresponds, remember, to your account balance. So every time I teach a class, 1 will be deducted from this account balance. So it's very, 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 very important that you're checking your financial details regularly to make sure everything is coming out correctly. The other thing you want to look at is the storage. So if you go to under Drive and Storage, you will see everything that is stored. And this is not talking about your Drive storage on your app. Like if you upload PowerPoints, if you upload videos, this is completely separate. This storage is for 2 things. You have your video. So if you record or do the cloud recording, this storage includes all of that. And it also includes pictures. So if you've ever looked at it's called the learning report, where you can type in feedback for the student. And if you scroll down, there's a section where there's like snapshots of photos that you can scroll through. That is what these pictures are for the storage. So if I look at each class on the side, I'll see pictures for every single class because as far as I know, there's no way to turn that off. But you're going to notice I don't have a video for every class because I don't record for every lesson. My students pay extra for recording. So the students who get the recording, I'll see a place for video I can click on. The students that don't get recording do not have a video to click on. So the storage on your dashboard are for those pictures in the learning report and cloud recordings. So remember for the subscription method, the recording is included and you get to have them stored in here, your storage, for 3 months for free. For the consumption, you pay extra, of course, like I already said, for the recording, but it stores in the storage area for 3 months for free. So it's important to make sure you don't get charged for storage after 3 months. So if you look on the top right, you're going to see the estimated amount for your storage. You're going to see the video and picture storage, and you're going to see an amount. Don't freak out again if you see that it has something listed there. That does not necessarily mean that's what you're going to pay. It's just telling you based on what you have in your storage right now, this is what it would cost you. So it says for reference only. To make sure you don't get charged for that storage, you want to set an automatic deletion. So if I click on this, set automatic deletion, and mine was already set, and you'll notice this is also in the setting down here for profile. It just took me to the setting, which is right next to that account balance reminder. You can set it to automatically delete after 3 months. So it says automatically delete the recording video, automatically delete the picture. Every day, automatically delete the recordings, which are stored for 3 months. So as soon as 3 months hit one video and picture, it'll delete. The next day, every video picture that's been there for 3 months, it'll delete automatically. I don't have to do anything myself. It's automatically deleted because it's free for 3 months. And then if I do it any longer, it's going to charge me that storage fee. And you can change the length of time. I just keep mine for 3 months. That way my parents and I have 3 months if I need to go back and look at any videos. After 3 months, nobody can see those videos anymore. So make sure you have that set. Mine is on, it's green, it's good to go. To make sure, again, that you're not being charged for a storage fee, you can go back to those finance details. So here we go. If I go scroll back, let's see, you can set the date if you want to look. I can set the time period I want to look at my financial details. Let's go from December to today, and then I can click on search. Also, you can click on the type, so I can uncheck all the ones I don't want to see. Let's see if I could find, so I can do the top up, service, gift, let's turn all of this off. Lesson spending, I don't want to see. All I want to see is the storage. So I'm going to delete, not delete, but uncheck everything here. Uncheck, 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 and then click search. Okay, so now, and of course I didn't have to uncheck that. You could have scrolled through and looked, but all I wanted to do is check my last storage fee to see if I was charged anything. You will see 2 on this because I have for December 31st and January 31st. So at the end of every month is when storage fees are put into your account. So I can check the end of every month to make sure this number is 0. So if you see anything else besides 0, that means you are being charged one of those storage fees, whether it's for the pictures or the video, depending on if you do recording. So make sure you're checking these financial details to ensure you are not being charged for those fees. And if you are, make sure you talk to your sales rep or somebody in the tech team to find out why you're getting charged that storage fee so you don't get charged the next month. So since I've started with the business plan, I have never been charged a storage fee because I have that automatic deletion set. So make sure you have everything set. That way you avoid any extra fees that you didn't know you were going to get. So I think that covers everything related to financial details, any charges you could get. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, even if you have the subscription, to check those financial details multiple times a month to make sure there's no surprises there and you can get them fixed as soon as possible if there are any errors or issues. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye, everyone.